Welcome to Missing the Magic, your husband and wife Disney duo. Michelle is the pixie dust optimist, cheering for warm churros and stunning fireworks. Joe is the grumpy realist, calling out lines and prices that miss the mark. We give credit where Disney makes magic and call them on it when they don't. From parks to cruises, films, and food, clear takes and sharp laughs await. Skip the fluff, keep the fun, and get tips for a smoother trip. Grab your ears, bring your backpack, and let's find the magic together.
Welcome to day 5, or what we like to call Blur's Day of the cruise, because the days really are just blurring together now with all the alcohol.
Yeah.
Technically, we're on day 5, but this is the day.
No, we're actually on day
6. This is the day 5.
This is our update. Yeah, this is our update from yesterday, because by the time we got back to the room.
Yeah, so this should be a quick one because we really didn't do anything.
We did?
Not
we did
for most
stuff.
of the day.
We did stuff.
But most of the day, what did we do? We went and had breakfast.
We went and had breakfast.
At Marceline again.
Mm-hmm.
Shocker there.
Right.
They serve an unlimited amount of bacon, so it's hard to avoid.
Right. Yeah, we haven't done any of the actual sit-down breakfasts at any of the restaurants. I think it's just easier to do the buffet.
It is. Get in, get out.
Get in, get out, do whatever.
If the sit-downs take a little bit longer, you're
right
for service.
True.
Breakfast isn't a very important meal to me, so it's just one of those, I need to get something in my stomach.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah.
So we did breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Then what did we do? Did we go up to the Quiet Cove after that?
No, that was when I decided, because we had docked at Tortola.
Oh, right.
And originally we were supposed to have a excursion where we were going to have to leave at 7:15 in the morning. But because you had issues from the day before, we had put in for a cancellation for that excursion, and fortunately it did go through, so we weren't obligated to go.
We were on a wait. That's the first time I've ever been on a wait list for a cancellation.
Right, wait list to cancel. So so just to give, some context to it, when you book a excursion, they tell you 72 hours before your cruise leaves, you can cancel without any issues. But once you've reached that 72 hours, or you're even on the ship, then there's a possibility that you might not be able to cancel it. So you see a lot of people, what I've been noticing on like the WhatsApp group or the Facebook group, is people saying, hey, I'm getting ready to cancel this. If anybody is interested, log into the app.
Right, because obviously there's a set number of slots for each of the excursions.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And the tendency that people have is that as soon as the bookings happen months before the cruise, people will go in and put these reservations in just to reserve that spot to make sure they have it. And then as the cruise comes up and as the cruise progresses, they'll realize, all right, I got too many things booked, and they'll start canceling stuff and things will open up.
Right. So it gives people an opportunity that didn't get to book anything to actually book something.
And really what Disney should be doing is requiring a deposit.
Mm-hmm. Right, because if they did that,
you wouldn't have people reserving 20 things for the same time.
Right, which is almost what they started doing with the restaurant reservation. Right. So it's kind of the same thing. So fortunately, we got a refund for it. So we, another couple could go on the excursion. So we figured it would just be a very chill day, which it was. So after we had breakfast, I ended up deciding, well, let me just get off the ship to say that I've been in Tortola. That was really what it was. So I got off the ship, took a bunch of pictures. They have, again, the tourist trap shopping areas, because that's where all cruise ships that come to that area go to. So I walked around, got some little knick-knacky things, nothing major, and then came back on the ship. And I think maybe you had already been up there?
I had gone up to the pool deck.
All right. Well, no, we went together, I thought. Yeah, we went together. Right. So I got changed to, get into my bathing suit.
I didn't think I left the room at that point. I think I was here doing work.
Maybe you could have been, or maybe you were on. No, because I ended up eating breakfast. I brought my breakfast down. I think you ate. I don't remember.
I went up and I ate by myself.
Right, you had breakfast
And
by
then I went to
yourself.
sit on the pool deck.
Right, but I
And
think
you came up.
I
and got your
came.
breakfast and brought it out to the pool deck.
Right. So yes, that's how it
Well, I
happened.
was right.
Right. Yeah. It's Blur's day. So I ate breakfast, you finished up working, and then we decided to go up to the pool deck.
The Quiet Cove.
The Quiet Cove, the adult only.
The one where you can never get a seat because it's so small and so packed.
Right. But fortunately, because so many people were out on excursions, it wasn't very crowded.
So pro tip, if you do want to sit on the pool deck and you don't want to be in the sun, that's a great place to sit because they have a bar back there right where the infinity pool is.
Mhm.
And you'll get air conditioning that pours out of the bar. So it's not terribly unpleasant most
Right.
of the day.
Right. And so you were sitting there talking to a nice couple. I ended up going into the pool for a while and basically just sat because that's really all you can do in those pools. It's not
It's like a hot tub that's not hot.
right. But they have the waiter, one of the waiters from the bar, constantly coming back and forth asking, if you want
Constantly coming back and
drinks.
forth.
So it was just a very nice, relaxing, chill time. It was getting kind of late. We were getting kind of hungry for lunch. So I went back downstairs, grabbed some lunch and brought it back upstairs.
I'm pretty sure it was that pulled pork that didn't agree with it.
Okay.
So
Now we know. So yeah, it was just a very relaxing time getting to know another couple. And then once we were done with that, we came back to the room. We got changed.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything else because then we went downstairs for dinner / see what the craziness was downstairs. And that's the thing is, so we have the early dinner. So a lot of times they'll have the photos starting around that same time. So you have everybody in one area at the same time. So you have all the families that are there to do all these pictures. Then you have people getting in line for the meals because there's the one restaurant that's right there. So it kind of gets very chaotic around like 4:45 or so.
Yeah.
And then when we go into dinner, obviously you have a big group of people that go in, so it's not as crazy. And then the same thing kind of happens when we come out of dinner. There's a little bit of a crowd, but then in a little bit, most of the crowd separates because those people are now going to dinner. So it kind of works out that way. There was a magician that was performing yesterday that we were like, do we go? Do we not? One of our other dinner mates, I don't know what else to call them, dinner friends? Sure. They were going to go to the show. They had thought about going, and then turns out they didn't go. We, of course, decided to go back to the Haunted Mansion. And
immediately after dinner, we went to go into the Haunted Mansion, and it was packed, and I wasn't going to do it.
Right, and then we were going to do Scat Cat, but that was
packed.
That was packed. So
we just sat in because they had a live band playing.
Oh, that's right. Right. In the Grand Hall, they had a live band. So we went back and we were listening to that. And then a little bit later, we went back over to the Haunted Mansion and it wasn't as packed. So we got in. Earl and Tracy were actually across the way doing Disney Villains trivia. So we went in the lounge. And then when they were done with trivia, they came into the Haunted Mansion parlor, and that was when the craziness just ensued. That's where the fun times happen. Just so many inside jokes now from that whole thing. So
I was telling our daughter that it amazes me how people who literally just met a couple days ago get along like we've been lifelong friends for 20 years.
Yeah, and it's funny because that was something I think the husband and wife that you were talking to at the pool, they mentioned about they had gone on a cruise, met a bunch of people, got along really well, and they continue to cruise with those people that they just met.
They relayed one story where they were on a cruise. they wanted to cruise with their other friends, but their other friends were already booked for a cruise the day after they came back. So they booked a second cruise the day after they got back so they could cruise with them.
Yeah. So it's nice that we kind of experienced, something.
Kudos to Disney for their matchmaking of couples and putting people together that have very different backgrounds. They live in very different areas, but seem to hit it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even like the table next to us.
Okay. Oh my God, that's so funny.
So the table next to us, shout out to Duncan, right? Was his name?
Duncan's the little boy.
Cutest little boy. The one night he came over and he's talking to us when we were at Coco, right?
Yeah, it was Coco.
And
because it was it Pirate Night? Yeah, I think it was Pirate Night. So he was all piratey.
So it's a husband, a wife,
and their 3 kids,
2 little boys and a little girl.
Right.
And the night before, the older brother was left at the table while they went to go attend to something, and he's over there and he's diligently arranging the table, making sure everything's perfect, moving stuff out of the way.
He was funny.
And then Duncan, the younger one, came over to our table the next night and just struck up a conversation.
Yep.
It was.
Yep.
He was. I think he said he was 5 or 6. He was 6.
Okay. Yeah.
And just the friendliest, most mature young man that I think I've ever met. They were Star Wars fans. Dad was a Star Wars fan.
Yep. So we gave out our little
light side. You had dark sides. No, we pixie dusted them.
We pixie dusted them.
I had 3 Star Wars ducks on me.
Right.
And gave them to the kids, and they thought that was the greatest since sliced bread. It really made their night, and it really made our night too.
Yeah.
So last night when we're sitting, because we got there first, we're sitting there, and the family comes in, and Duncan makes a point to come over to me and say hi to me.
Yeah, it was so adorable.
I was
like, oh my God.
It was. And when they got up to leave, I told her, his mom, I said, look, your son is an absolute gem. And she says, he's my heart and soul. So
yeah. But you have to tell the story from Coco, what you told him.
Oh yeah. So when I gave them the ducks, they were getting ready to leave, and I said, look, you can have the ducks, but you have to make sure that you're good for your mom and you take care of your mom and do what she says and you be good for her because you don't want to get her, upset or anything. And he says, okay, I'll do that. And he made a commitment to it. He comes over to me last
night at dinner.
And he says, well, remember you told me to be good to my mom? And I said, yeah. He says, well, I was very good. But I had sugar and I was just like, I couldn't hold it in at that point in time. It was hilarious.
It's just too cute. Yeah.
So we've been very fortunate with our table mates around.
Yeah, because unfortunately I have been seeing people posting between the WhatsApp group and the Facebook group that they're not having such a great time with some of their dining experiences. So I'm glad we are having.
Yeah. We've been very lucky, and
now we're ordering stuff family style.
Yeah.
So Tracy has been like, all right, well,
Tracy's like, I want 4 of these and 2 of these and all those,
and we're all going to share. And she gets her main course that she wants, and then the one that she wants to sample, and then okay, everybody try it around. Everybody, and even Mario did that. He brought us another piece of cake because he
said nobody was ordering the cake.
But I thought Candy had ordered, or Cindy had ordered that one. All right, well, she ordered something else. So he was like, oh, well, nobody tried this one here. And he's sitting there slicing it so that, we could all.
Yeah. So dinner has been a highlight of it. Like the friendliness, the camaraderie that we've had. It's been a highlight.
Absolutely.
And then we wound up back in the Haunted Mansion again. And pro note, sit at the bar. I can't stress that enough. Not only do you see all the show in the mirror, but the bartenders in there, they've been the best show of the trip so far.
Yeah.
And they don't put on a show.
Yeah.
They're just bartenders, but they're hilarious.
Right.
They interact. They're teasing you all the time.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It really is.
Right. So if like the Haunted Mansion butlers ran a bar, this is what this is how you
blank
expect.
stares, you get the I hate yous.
I hate yous.
And it's all done in fun. And,
right.
and it's like they read the crowd and they know who they can play around with.
Right.
And we interact back and forth. They had changed it. I gotten one beer. They changed the tap and the second beer was warm. And we were just razzing these guys constantly. And they were so good about it. Like they knew it was all done in good fun.
Yeah.
So I've really enjoyed that aspect.
And then after that, after we had a lot to drink, then we went.
Yeah, we staggered over.
We staggered up to Sarabi's because they were doing Indiana Jones Adventure comedy show where it's basically this one comedy duo that I was part of one of their other shows before, adults only, and basically they reenact all 5 Indiana Jones movies, like little snippets from it. Two people, basically.
One person's Indiana Jones and the other person is every other character.
Yeah, she's everybody else. So she'll put on a wig or she'll change her jacket, change her accent, and they go through and they kind of have it set up like a choose your own ending. So they'll get to a point and then they'll say, now you choose. Do we go to the left or do we go to the right?
Choose wisely.
Right. And then what always ends up happening is whichever we choose, something happens and they'll be like, all right, let's dial it back so that we can pick the other thing. Just hysterical. We'll definitely have clips from that too.
Show. I give total props to the first performer, the female vocalist that came out.
Yes.
Because she had technical difficulties. She started singing, the mic wasn't live. She literally walked off the stage into the crowd, still singing. Beautiful voice, completely clear to the whole room.
Right.
And had to go over to the mixer to resolve
to get her mic.
But the whole time she's working on it, she's still singing.
She's still singing the song.
Like,
she didn't stop and let's start over.
Yeah, it was awesome. The fact that she was able to do that without any.
And I think she was the singer that was at the band that was playing earlier that day that was doing like the jazzy versions of Disney songs. I think she was in that group too. So yeah.
So that was great. That was another late night. When we got back to the room after all the alcohol we drank, we couldn't do the podcast. Well, I mean, you wanted to.
I wanted to because I thought it was going to be an awesome podcast.
But it was one of those things I just wanted to go to bed. So we're doing it today.
Right.
So that was it. Day 5. We're on day 6 now.
Yep. Today is our day at sea.
Depending on how much we drink, we'll have another recap either tonight or tomorrow.
And then tomorrow is our last port of call before we actually get off the ship.
Yeah.
Kind of sad.
It is.
Like I wasn't sure how I was going to be being on a ship for 7 days because I've cruised before, but I've only done 3 or 4 days.
It took me probably 3 days to hit my stride here and get comfortable with what was going on. I think on our next cruise, I won't have that problem because I'll know what to expect.
Right. I think that was part of it. It was a
learning curve.
Right. So
anyway, that's it for day 5. Check back later for day 6.
That's a wrap on this episode of Missing the Magic. If you enjoyed the mix of cheers and critiques, follow the show. Leave a quick rating and share it with a fellow fan. Have a question, hot take, or park hack we should try? Send it our way at comments@insightsintothings.com. Or call it and leave us a voicemail at 856-403-8788. Thanks for listening, and thanks to Disney for the memories worth talking about. Keep your ears handy, bring your backpack, and we'll meet you back here for more Missing the Magic.